you know, when you're driving by a cop, you're supposed to slow down, get over. I did not do that.
Have you ever spilled a secret while having a drink? Have you ever been holding on to a secret that was just so good that you had to tell a complete stranger just to get it off your chest? I love listening to great stories. So I built a confessional and I became an ordained minister. I can't offer you any absolution or advice, but I can give you a free drink, as long as you tell me a secret.
Hello. What's your name?
I'm Ty.
Ty?
Yeah.
I'm Reverend Tom.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. All right, you got a secret for me or a story?
Not really. I feel like I want to be prompted. Can I be prompted with a secret?
What's happening? What's up, man?
How are you doing?
Doing good.
What's your name?
Raul.
Raul, I'm Reverend Tom.
Good to meet you, Raul.
All right, man, I hear you got a secret or a story for me.
Yeah, you know, I'll give you a little story about when I was, 19 years old, and, I kind of fucked up a little bit.
Oh, I got a good one. This one's tea. This one's not really my bad, but it's kind of my bad. Me and one of my best friends, whenever we get together, we seem to pull like the weirdest guys. Not like weird, but like the most different crowds of people every time. We just happen to end up talking to or hanging out with. Every time it's random people. So 2 weekends ago, there was an ex-NFL player, his ex-NFL brother, and their ex-NFL friend.
I was at a party, and I was bringing this girl back to my house, and she offered to drive all the way back, but I said no. I was being kind of a douche, and I was like, no, I'm fine, let me drive. I was driving home drunk. A really bad decision. Drove past a cop that was pulling somebody else over.
They took us on a boat, okay? And so they drove us, it was super fun, we drank a little bit, then we go to a restaurant, it was awesome, and the whole time at the restaurant, there are these giant men, like 300-pound men.
They're ex-football players.
They're huge, they're linemen, defensive linemen.
Oh, God.
Yeah, so the whole time at the restaurant, they're like, oh, you girls, you gotta be so safe, you gotta be so careful, there's like a lot of bad people in this world, like guys will take advantage of you, don't take drinks when you don't want drinks, don't take drinks from strangers, don't do this, don't do that, and they're like, obviously we're saying this is like father figures, we're trying to protect you, and me and my roommate are like, these guys are just the nicest, aren't they? My goodness, they're so sweet, blah, blah, blah. So we're just like, we're stupid. And we get back on the boat with them because we had to go up to this marina, and as soon as we get back on the boat the second time, they started like doing weird stuff, like pulling moves that they should not have been pulling. They were like being super touchy and whatever. Earlier in the night, we had called out one of the men because he was married, he had a wedding ring on, and somehow his wedding ring had come off between the time when we had started the night and by this point.
When you're driving by a cop, you're supposed to slow down, get over. I did not do that, and I kind of blew past him. He left the person who he was pulling over, and he was like, hey, congratulations, today's your lucky day. And he came and got my ass.
Oh, shit.
And he was being very touchy, and so we said, we know that you're married, you need to stop. We know that you're married, you need to stop. He kept going and going and pushing and pushing. He said, we know that you're married. Like, please stop, don't touch me, please stop. Like, I'm uncomfortable, your wife is. And he would back off for a second and then be very aggressive and then back off for a second. But we're in the boat in the middle of the water. What are we supposed to do? Like, you can only fight so much without, like, putting your own self in danger. So you kind of just suck it up till you get to shore and then whatever. So we do that. And by the time we get to shore, we have to call an Uber. And now the Uber fucking says 20 minutes away. So we're like, fuck this. We have to wait with these guys for 20 minutes after, like, we're so uncomfortable, whatever. So the guy's like, oh, 20 minutes? Well, let's take shots of tequila. Let's go. And I was like, I'm done drinking. By this time, they had already been forcefully opening my mouth to try to put tequila in it. And they tried spitting tequila into my mouth. They're holding it, trying to spit into it. I'm like, no, please don't, like, stop. I mean, it makes me sound like poor me, but I was, like, trying to be very normal about it, like, trying not to act like they were being as aggressive as they were, because I think if I would have let it get out of control, they would have gotten mad, which is what they ended up doing anyways, but we'll get there.
And came and over, got arrested. I was like in college, I was home for the summer. My parents like ripped me a new one, and they like sold my car. They said, hey, you're not allowed to have a vehicle in college anymore. And so I was bumming rides off my friends for the next like school year.
So, but he kept pulling me, and I was like, I'm not going, I'm not drinking, it doesn't matter, I'm not going. But he kept pulling me, and so I grabbed my friend, and he keeps doing it, and finally, I was like, listen, I will go with you to get your tequila that I will not be drinking. But just so you know, if you try to pull some dumb shit on me, all of you guys owe me money. And I turned to all of these players, and I was like, you all owe me money. And then they were like, they said, what do you mean? I said, what do you mean, what do I mean? He's been trying to pull stuff all night. I'm so uncomfortable.
Right.
And then this guy freaked out. What the fuck? Do you really think that I would go for somebody like me? Like, he lost his mind. You could tell he was so frazzled because he was he's a public figure.
Right.
Like, I could blow up his image in an instant if I chose to, which I won't do, but I could. Anyways, you just go, what the fuck are you like being super manipulative. Then try telling me that everything that I was saying had never happened, blah, 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 like trying to make me feel crazy.
Right.
And I didn't give up. I was like, fuck you. I was like, no, I know you did. You did this, 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 and this. I told you, if your wife's okay with it, then call her. You denied it. I said like a million things, and then he would just like argue with me, and then be like, okay. And then argue with me, and then be like, okay. So then eventually, because I didn't give up, I was relentless. By the end of it, he was like, okay, you're right. Like, I was hitting on you. You're right. I took it too far. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I made you feel uncomfortable. I'm sorry.
I learned the hard way to not be an idiot and drink and drive, but
Man, oh, that sucks. That's why, you know, that person that he pulled over initially is now telling people, man, I was stoned as shit. I had a fucking bag and cocaine between my legs. And
Yes.
I was like, I'm getting that motherfucker.
Yes.
This is your lucky day.
I made somebody's day that night, unfortunately.
Right on.
And throughout this whole process, his other friend was like rubbing my back, whispering in my ear, trying to be like, it's okay, baby girl, it's okay. Like trying to make it, you know, being like gross, manipulative, like, get your fucking hands off me. It's not okay what you guys did. You guys just like low-key groomed me. It was so gross. Whatever. Anyways, we finally get an Uber to come. We drive home without them. We had two separate Ubers, crazy award. We drive home without them. We go home. I tell the story to my roommate, and then we end up at my other roommate. And then we look this guy up. He is running for like some senatorial position, not like super big, but locally. And at dinner, he had said to us that his goal is to become a senator. And on top of that, not only is he married, but his wife is pregnant.
Oh,
His wife
God.
is pregnant. And all of this shit happened. Yes. Isn't that crazy?
That's fucking nuts,
Yes,
man.
yes.
Oh my God.
And we didn't even realize the full extent to like how bad that could have gotten, like how awful of an experience that was until after we tell the story again and we're like, oh my gosh, like, oh my gosh, that was really scary. So that was
That was great. Man, I'm glad you got out of that.
Yeah, and after that I swore off him forever. I'm just kidding. I swore off for a week, but here we are.
All right, Raul, you got anything else for me?
That's it for today.
All right, Raul, I got something for you. Thank you for sharing the hard truth with me, and I'm buying you a drink, man.
Thank you.
Just get that to my buddy outside, and he'll give you a drink card.
All right, man, appreciate it.
All right, thanks, Raul. One of the craziest stories that I've heard in a long time.
Wow.
I'm glad
and I came into this booth like, I don't know what I'm gonna say. I don't know what
That was
like 2
a great
weeks ago.
story, and I've got something for you.
Yes.
I've got a drink. I've got the hard truth coming through.
Word. What the?
You'll get your free drink coupon outside.
They might bring this.
Well, it's a prop for us. Just so I have something to pass through. You give Mike, who's outside, that, and he gives you a free drink. Yes. All right, you made the right decision on that
Sweet.
night.
Thank you.
All right,
nice
thank
to
you.
meet you.
Nice meeting you.
Hello, friends. Reverend Tom here. Make sure you hit the subscribe button to see all the latest confessions.